Hello. Um, this is Jabbar here. So I'm going to be your trainer for C and data structures. So I want this to be a little bit interactive. Am I audible to everyone? If yes, can you ping me here? Hello. Please unmute and talk.
You are audible, sir. Hello.
We are going to discuss like basic introduction today. So coming to me, I'm not a professional trainer. Okay. So I'm working professional. So I wanted to like just give the insights about the C and language. So basically, I'm from AP, Nellore. ఇక్కడ ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే మనం ఇప్పుడు కంప్లీట్ ట్రైనర్ అయితే కాదు. ఐఎమ్ వర్కింగ్ ప్రొఫెషనల్. సో ఐఎమ్ వర్కింగ్ నియర్లీ లైక్ 10 years ఇన్ ఐటీ. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ వీఆర్ గోన్ డిస్కస్ ఇన్ దిస్ కమింగ్ మంత్ like data structures, C, and whatever the programming questions that we're gonna discuss, all will be asked in interviews. So ప్రతిదీ interviews లో అడుగుతారు. And at the same time, it is very important. And ఆల్రెడీ లైక్ 8 అయింది కదా. సో అందరికీ కొద్దిగా నిద్రమత్తున్నట్టుంది. సో లైక్ ఎవరన్నా లైక్ unmute and like what you know until about C and data structures and like how it is being used. Anyone going to unmute and talk about that? Let's be interactive, okay? So ఈ లాంగ్వేజ్ అనేది ఏంటంటే లైక్ ఎంత ఇంటరాక్టివ్గా ఉంటే ఆ క్లాస్ అంత మనకి బాగా అర్థమవుతుంది. సో ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ లైక్ డైరెక్ట్లీ ఐఎమ్ స్పీకింగ్, ఇట్ విల్ బి లైక్ టాకింగ్ టు ఏ బ్లాక్ బోర్డ్. యా. హలో. ఓకే. The host, can you unmute? You raise your hand, please. Like discuss like
Sir, can I speak?
yeah, proceed.
Okay. The question is, you're asking about data structures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally,
Data structures and C also.
okay. C is normally a programming language so that we can interact with the computer or a machine.
Okay.
Data structures in C are used to store data in an organized and efficient manner. In C, programming language has many data structures like arrays, stack, queues, linked list, trees, and etc. So normally a programmer can select any appropriate data structure uh, according to the project and the language of the computer which we can apply for that.
Yeah, basically it is used to solve the problems. Different kind of problems will be there.
Yes.
So all data we cannot store in a same way. So we have to organize the data. By that, how we can, it will be like how we can process that particular data. It's all about the data. Okay, so you are correct. So now actually today we are going to discuss only about flowcharts and algorithms. Like I think all of you know about flowcharts and algorithms. So sorry for the like mic and everything trouble. So as I told, I'm not a professional trainer. So there will be some initial hiccups in the starting days, but I will try to cover everything. So like like see like how much can you rate like in C programming for 5, like how can you rate yourself? Can you just post a message in chat? Just like 3, 2, 5, 4. Rate yourself in C. to everyone actually. See, little be more interactive, okay? Already I think I can understand that this is like a last class and everyone are maybe like sleepy. Only one person out of see, the more interactive you guys with me, the more I can deliver and the more interest I'll get to deliver the content. Be energetic. Okay, you guys all know about algorithms and flowcharts, right? Yes or no? Just type in the chat box. Okay, I will show you a little bit this one. So what whatever I'm is everyone can able to see the screen, right? You just unmute or just ping me. Or what exactly it is telling. By seeing these steps, ఇది మనం ఎవరు ప్రతిరోజు చేసేదే. What it is telling just by reading these 5 steps. Just ping me. See, నేను ప్రతిసారి ఎందుకు మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతున్నానంటే వీఆర్ నాట్ ఇన్ ఎ క్లాస్ రూమ్, వీఆర్ ఇన్ ఆన్లైన్. సో ఐ కెన్ గెట్ టు నో మీరు వింటున్నారా లేదా, లేకపోతే నేను చెప్పేది మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా లేదా, మీ రిప్లైని బట్టే నాకు అర్థమవుతుంది. డైరెక్ట్ క్లాస్లో ఉంటే డైరెక్ట్ మొహం మీద అరే నువ్వు లేరాను అని చెప్పి అడిగేవాడిని. ఇట్స్ ఎ ఫ్లో ఆఫ్ ప్రాసెస్. We call it as sequence of steps or whatever. It's just an algorithm defining a particular process, what exactly it is. మనం ప్రతిరోజు రాత్రి నిద్రపోయేటప్పుడు మన సెల్లో పెడతాము. మార్నింగ్ మనం చేసే పనే అది. ఇట్స్ అన్ అలారం. So by seeing this, it is not exactly like appealing what exactly happening here. ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుందో మీకు మొత్తం స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ వెళ్ళి చూస్తేనే మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. సో అదే ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇంకోటి చూపిస్తాను. If you see this now, it is clearly understandable, like exactly what it is happening. So whenever an alarm rings, if you are ready to get ready, you just you will say yes, climb out of the bed and end. If you are not ready to wake up, you have to hit the snooze button and it will go again to the delay, and after some time, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, again it will ring the alarm, and again you have to like మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు లేయాలా వద్దా అని మళ్ళీ ఆలోచిస్తాం. అండ్ అగైన్ ఇలా స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ మనం వాట్ ఎవర్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఎవ్రీడే ద సేమ్ థింగ్. సో ఇక్కడ ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇందాక చూసింది మనం అల్గారిథం, ఇట్స్ స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ ప్రాసెస్. ఇప్పుడు మనం చూసింది ఏంటంటే ఒక ఫ్లో చార్ట్. దిస్ ఈస్ వెరీ క్లియర్లీ అపీలింగ్ అనమాట. చూడంగానే మనకు అర్థమవుతుంది ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ. We have a start and we have a end. So like this, whatever the program we write in an office, we write the program like to solve a particular problem. So everything is a problem. Prati problem ni we have to solve it in a programmatical way. By that, it will be like working. So our problem ni manam we have to define in a flow chart. So by that, other teams can communicate with us. So some teams work in Java, some teams will work in Python, and some teams work in data, and someone will be like product management. So there will be like multiple layers in a system when we are working together. So there should be a way of communication in between teams. For that, we go with algorithms and as well as flowchart, and there are some other means of communication. It's just a way of communicating what exactly our the piece of code we have written will do. So and what's the result going to be, and what are the steps involved in between. So like this, everything we are gonna depict in a flowchart, in a diagram, in a diagrammatical way. So I already shared some of the materials, so you can just go through them once. Okay, now we can see some more examples. Hello. So in this is the elements of a flowchart. Whenever we are going to write, if you see here, there is a mathematical operation. So there are two. We are taking two elements, with A and B, which is having some value, and we are doing summation of that, and we are printing that value, and we are ending it. This is the algorithm of right side of it, and here we have start and end. In between, we are taking input A, we are taking input B, we are doing mathematical operation, we are printing that, and we are ending it. This is a flow chart of that one. So these are the elements that which we use. This is the stop. If you have some mathematical operations that we do in this rectangular box, if you are taking input and output for our system, that we define in this box. And if we want to make some decision like yes or no, then we use this particular element. And this denotes the direction of that particular flowchart. So if you see here, now A and B are the input elements for us. Like I mentioned here, those are input and output values. So it is mentioned here as an input in this particular box. And we are, like as I said, whenever we do some mathematical operations, we do that in this particular box. So we are doing some mathematical operations in this box, and when we are printing any operations that we do in our system, we define in these boxes, and we just do end. So in exam, they may ask you a question like, write a program to add two elements and print it, and write a flowchart for that one. So you can easily write simply an algorithm and do the write the diagram and describe it. Okay. Any questions so far? Hello. Like any doubts like why exactly we need this one? What connectors will do? Or anyone wanted to unmute and raise a question? Please go ahead. Be interactive. Okay. So ఎవరైనా like thinking that programming is, or you can ask me questions like how what I will do in my work, day-to-day work. If anyone are interested, like how IT field will be. No doubts so far? Okay. I'm just continuing to the next section. So now we will go through C fundamentals and everything. As you know, background of the C, it is a, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So for everything, there are some set of rules, even though for even for algorithms or for flowcharts also, if you see there are some rules. So it should start and end with there should be, for everything there should be start and there should be end. If we are taking input or output, we should define in this particular box only. Like that, for every operation, for everything, there will be a separate box or separate diagram mentioned for that particular task. So the same way, C also will have some particular rules. Based on that rules only, we should proceed. Okay, this is the main structure of the C language. It should have some preprocessor directives and then a global declarations, and then the main here where everything whatever we do will be executed, and then other functions as required. These are the steps. This is like top to bottom approach. We call it as a top down approach, something like that. So we can we'll just go through. We'll write one program. We are going to do it in an online compiler. So this is the preprocessor directive. I'll just run it. We got hello world. I can give Nimra here. So the compiler executed this one and we got the output here. So if we compare this one with this, whatever we have here, so we have preprocessor directive as the first step in the C language. Whenever we write a program in C, we have to define the preprocessor directive. So the same thing here is cache include stdio.h. The preprocessor directory we covered. And we have global declarations. We haven't written any global declarations here. We can see that in later programs. And we have main section. This is the main section. In this, we have some local declarations and statements. Whatever we write inside a main, we call it as a statement. Here is the return, printf, and it is closed. The same way, like we have seen earlier program, which takes two elements. We want to print the sum of this one. So now we can see the sum of the elements is printed here. At the same time, we can do multiplication also. But if you see here, it is printed side by side. But I want to print it in a like more structured way. Then we can give some escape characters like this, which is now like down. We call it as an escape characters. So like this again we have division.
Sir,
Yep.
can I know why we are writing percentage D?
Yeah, I will cover all those in the next steps. Okay.
Okay.
Today I'm just like basic syntax and everything in the C language. Okay. Now if you see here, if I remove the semicolon, what we will get? It failed. because in C language, every statement, as we discussed earlier, we have local declaration and statements. Everything in the C should end with the semicolon. If not, the compiler don't understand it. It's a basic rule. Like I can say, it's a thumb rule. Now it got executed properly. So and you might ask like, what exactly we call this? And what is this? These all we call it as variables because ఇప్పుడు మనం యాక్చువల్గా మనకి ఫుడ్ ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తాము. ఫుడ్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసిన తర్వాత మనకు బాక్స్‌లో ఏసిస్తారు గదా! సో, బాక్స్ అనేది ఒక కంటైనర్. సో, బాక్స్‌లో మనం ఫుడ్ ఏస్తాము. అది క్యారేజ్ తీసుకొని మనం వస్తాం. సో, ఆ ఫుడ్ బాక్స్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దట్ ఈస్ హోల్డింగ్ అవర్ ఫుడ్. ద సేమ్ థింగ్ హియర్ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ we call it as an variable which is holding this value, but that is stored in a memory. దట్ మెమరీ అది ఈ వాల్యూ ఎక్కడైతే స్టోర్ అవుతుందో కంపైలర్‌లో ఆ మెమరీ లొకేషన్ అనేది దీంట్లో ఉంటుంది. సో, ఇఫ్ ఐ ప్రింట్ హియర్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ it prints some value that we call it as an address of that particular element. So, these are the things which are like basic things. And why here it is int, and here why it is doing return, because this we call it as method, right? So, if I do void here, then I don't need to do return. These are the all like basic syntaxes. Now we're gonna cover like why everything is required like this, and why we need percentage d here, and why a/b returned 0. Now everything we go through these steps. And here if you see, one minute. Hello. Oh, sorry. Here if you see, there are some, it is mentioned in green. If I remove these two things, it is not in green because we call it as comment. We are commenting. So whenever we mention something in this particular this symbol, it won't be executed because the compiler ignore these statements. This is just to give more readability. Like exactly here, what exactly it is doing, I can mention like something like this. These are the comments section. It should start with this one and end with this like this. Here I can, it is a simple program. Whenever I mention like this, it doesn't get executed by the C compiler. So these statements we call it as comments. This is just to give more readability for the whoever is reading viewing this program. They will get to know like what exactly the developer whoever developed this program wanted to communicate. He will get to know. Like ఇప్పుడు నేను మీకు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఇచ్చాను. Without this one, you have to go through the entire line and understand exactly what this particular piece of code is doing. So but instead, if నేను ఇక్కడ మెన్షన్ చేశాను అనుకోండి, it is simple program of C. You no need to go through the entire. So this is like just as a ఇప్పుడు ఇది only 10 lines of program, but when you join a company and you start developing code, there will be like thousands of code, like thousands of lines of code you will be writing. So at that time, ఒక టీంలో చాలా మంది మెంబర్స్ ఉంటారు. ఆ మెంబర్స్ అందరికీ కమ్యూనికేట్ ఈజీగా అర్థం అవ్వాలి అంటే మీరు రాసిన ప్రోగ్రాము. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు గివ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ఏ కామెంట్స్ సెక్షన్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ లైక్ బేసిక్ నెసెసిటీ. So this is a single line comment. So coming to identifier, so now this A is an identifier, C is an identifier. Everything we write in a program, we call it as an identifier. సో ఇది ప్రస్తుతానికి వచ్చి ఏబిసి ఇలా ఉన్నాయి, బట్ మీనింగ్ఫుల్ నేమ్స్ ఇవ్వాలి యాక్చువల్గా ఇన్ ఏ ప్రోగ్రామ్. సో సంథింగ్ లైక్ instead of C, like actually C is having A plus B, it is actually doing summation. I can mention it as sum. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ చూస్తే ఇది మీకు ఇప్పుడు చూడంగానే అర్థమవుతుంది. ఎర్లియర్ ఇట్ వాజ్ లైక్ ఏ, సి అండ్ ఇట్ వాజ్ లైక్ సమ్ డి. దట్ టైమ్ యూ డోంట్ నో ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్. సో నౌ ఇఫ్ ఐ గేవ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ సమ్ and multiplication, then it has some meaningful name. So we call it as an identifier and at the same time variable. And this also has some rules. And C is a case sensitive. Okay. So why it is case sensitive? Because these both are different. For us, it looks like sum and sum, but here actually it is both are different. If you see, we are printing in these two variables, this one and this one, but still both containing different values. This one is having a plus b and this one is having a into b. So here we know this one is plus, means which is doing addition, but the computer identifies it, takes it as an operator. We have to see is a computer is an LKG fail actually. Everyone knows that one. Computer came తెలియదు. It's just an LKG fail. So we have to tell everything to the computer step by step exactly what to do. Then only it can it will listen to us and it will give however way we want it to work. Else it doesn't work by itself. So if I remove this entire thing and I just do run, the compiler will run, but it doesn't give you anything. So I have to tell everything to the computer what exactly I am doing, what exactly I want. So here I wanted a summation, here I wanted the multiplication of that one. So then it will read this line by line, converts it into the machine level language, the C program, and depicts, executes these instructions, and then if it is printf, it will just print it here it like this. That's what exactly it does. It doesn't know anything. We have to tell everything. So like this, if I am giving here plus, it is like plus means addition. So here we call it as an operator. These two we call it as an operand. So this is how C will work. And here again we have like so many things. Loops we have, whatever in the real life we see, everything can be converted into a program. Why? Because we wanted to avoid the repetitive work. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం ఒక బిర్యానీ షాప్కి వెళ్తే ఈ రోజు బిర్యానీ ఉంది, సేమ్ టేస్ట్ రేపు వస్తుందా అంటే గ్యారంటీ లేదు. బట్ ఏ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆల్వేస్ గివ్ ఎ సేమ్ రిజల్ట్ ఈవెన్ హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ యూ ఆస్క్. దట్స్ వాట్ యాక్చువల్లీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈస్, టు సాల్వ్ ద రిపిటేటివ్ వర్క్ and will give the same and exact result every time if you ask it. So if I like how many times I run it, it will give me the same result. It doesn't change in between. So for that reason the languages are like more developed. And C is like mainly we use C in the system level, like embedded programming, like it is developed to communicate with the Unix software. After that it evolved into in such a way, if you learn C, we can do coding in Java, Python, or anything. We call C as a mother of all languages. So basically, if you learn the syntax and if you are comfortable in writing any program in C, and you can write any program, and you can learn any language like Java, Python. There are so many languages. Any language you can learn easily, and it will be a cakewalk for you after learning C. Uh, any doubts so far? Hello?
Sir, am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Sir, can you explain how the code runs in backend?
We'll go through that one.
Okay.
So here is a .c file, like whatever instructions you have written, it will be stored in a .c file in C language. In Java, it will be like .java. After that, it will get converted into .class file, and then JVM will execute the program and will give the output for you. In C, it will be done in using the compiler. This we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, a little bit problem with the pen tab. Like how now you saw some programs, right? Hello. Anyone want to write some different program, like how to how to achieve what exactly we can do Hello. Like today is the basic introduction of C, like exactly what and all we can do in C and everything. And tomorrow we'll explore more into C, and like what is everything, like what we call it as as I told initially, this we call it as variable, and this one we call it as statement, and we do some operations and then we just printing this one. So tomorrow we'll delve into more into the C programming, like how exactly the program executes and why, what are the steps it is done taken to that. Everything we will discuss tomorrow. Like so far, any doubts like what we achieve, what we do, like what are the applications of C and where and all it is getting used, something like that, or like in real life where we use C.
Yes, sir. Could you please tell in real life where we use C?
Uh, okay, so like here, whatever I'm running like in the system, you can see right everything. These applications, we have two kind of applications. One is web-based application, and other one is like system-based, or we call it as something like here like everyone will be using Windows applications, right? So here, if I go like download a software and install it in my local machine, so those softwares are mainly need to communicate with the OS of the application, OS of the laptop. So anything that need to communicate with a machine, we will the first choice will be C language. So it is, and C is like more fast compared to any other language. So that's why C is used to write the system applications, whichever will be executed in your laptops and mobiles and in network applications. If you remember, like there will be data centers, which is now everything is going to be cloud. So now here, this one is actually, this is a, here you are seeing whatever is you are seeing is an online compiler. So here I am running an this hello world program will be get executed, and I am getting this one. But actually the C compiler, they have hosted it in a web. These web applications are mainly written in Java, PHP, JavaScript, like that, and AngularJS, like this. These are like two different, entirely two different domains. So now here, if you see, there is one application, this Zoom applications. This is also part of the things they will write in C, and some of the things will be written in another language, because this one need to communicate directly to the machine. It need to be installed in your laptop, and it need to use those the resources available in a machine. And embedded programming, there also we use C mainly. Any other doubts? Did I solve your problem, your question? Okay then. If no doubts, just want to like from tomorrow we gonna discuss more about C language, the rules behind C, whatever we have written today. We have seen the questions from today are like why we write percentage D here, and there is also we have written comments we have discussed, and we also written like what exactly this int means here, what what purpose it is done here. It is solving for us. What exactly we call this one, and what and all things we have in the preprocessor directive, everything we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. If any doubts, please make note and you can ask me tomorrow. Global declaration here, whatever is, as I told you earlier, right? So this is the main structure of the C program. Whatever, like how much big program you write, it need to start with preprocessor directive, global declaration, int main. This one is like your main program. The program execution will start from main. In C, it will start in main. In Java, it will start from the same. There also, it will start from main only. Global declaration is like, so here, whatever we define it as local. So this one is local. If I define same thing here, it will be global. It can be used in the entire C program from here to here. Whatever I defined here, it will be used only in this within this curly braces. We call it as a local. And preprocessor directive means this is hash include stdio.h we have mentioned. Stdio means standard input and output. Like whatever printf is there. If I didn't write this stdio, this preprocessor directive, and if I run this one, maybe in local it don't work because it's an online compiler. It is running it. If you do it in your local, it won't work because this C program doesn't know what is printf means if I remove this one. Same level we have like math.h. Where we define all the mathematical operations in this one. It's simply like as an import statement. Any further doubts? Okay, please come up with like doubts, whatever from today's class. Will discuss tomorrow. We will dwell into completely into C language from tomorrow onwards. Okay. Okay. And please go through the flow charts and algorithms today. And tomorrow we write for some of the programs that we write. Some of the flow charts we will write in the class itself. Okay. Please go through the materials whichever I have shared. Bye then. Take care. Good night.